So let me start today by introducing our panel. First of all, we have Pádraig Monaghan, and Pádraig is the Managing Director of United Healthcare Group, and he's also Senior Vice President of Claims Operations. United Healthcare employs 650 staff members, and they offer a wide range of health benefits to the US market. And Pádraig manages teams in India, America, and in Ireland here. United Healthcare is a huge global player, and Pádraig has come a long way from his first job as a little boy, where he used to cut my granny's grass in Donegal. Okay. So moving over anyway. You didn't get paid, okay, well, we can't sort you out now. So moving over now to Catherine Monaghan, who's no relation, but Catherine is Human Resource Manager in Loch Esk Castle. It's the only 5-star hotel in Donegal, and it won the World Luxury Hotel Award for 5 years running, so it's quite an achievement. Solly's employs 160 staff, and you like to take local people on, which is a great thing.
Absolutely.
And Catherine has an extensive experience in HR for about 20 years, and she actually was HR for the production of Riverdance. And you'll know that Moya Doherty won the Donegal Person of the Year, and Moya also happens to be a first cousin of Pádraig, so there's a lot of talent on the Carnmore Road in Dunlow. So we're moving over now down to Killybegs, and there's a real hive of activity in this company in Killybegs, and sometimes we think of Killybegs as the boat's been in and not a lot of fishing happening. But Declan McBurty here is General Manager of KR Group, and they specialise in a wide range of engineering services, both to oil and gas offshore industries. They also expanded and they service retail, hospitality, and commercial businesses. Declan started his career by doing an apprenticeship in the electrical trades, and he progressed up the ranks. KR employ 40 people and offer a wide range of apprenticeship training. And Declan actually has a fellow working at the moment in Las Palmas and Gran Canaria. So KR, quite the company to work for. And Declan is very fond of speed and rallying, just like my own brothers. Yeah. So that's Declan. Moving over now to Declan Thomas, another Donegal town man. He is Industrial Relations and Human Resource Executive for IBEC. IBEC are Ireland's leading provider in employment law and industrial relations. Declan is a qualified solicitor, and he also was Human Resource Manager for a company in Sligo called Protect Medical. Just 2 weeks ago, Declan had very good news. His wife had a little baby girl, Emily, and he's smiling. He's smiling away. He says she's a wee dog. So just to acknowledge, too, that 4 of us in the panel went to ETB schools, but that wasn't today or yesterday.
No.
So, no. So I'm going to invite questions about 20 minutes in. And first of all, now we're going to kickstart today. So we're really excited about this panel joining the dots between education and training and the world of work. So perhaps, Declan, you could start, because I know you have a bird's eye view over industry in the Northwest. Could you give us an indication into the growth areas in industries here?
Yeah, well, I suppose, there's a lot of good companies in Donegal, Sligo, Leitrim, large companies that are progressing year on year, expanding year on year. So what I would say to people is maybe to do some homework into who those companies are, the big companies in your area, find out what they're doing, if they're expanding, if they're looking for staff, what areas of work or what areas of education you should be getting into in order to, maybe obtain employment with those big employers. And
could you do a wee bit of name dropping and just give us a bit of specific industries that are growing at the moment?
Yeah, well, I suppose healthcare, the medical device industry is expanding year on year. There's many of those companies in the region as well. A company I work for in Sligo are, I suppose, expanding maybe 20 to 30% year on year.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So you've got, as I say, healthcare, medical device, pharmaceutical companies, the hospitality industry as well. Mm-hmm. And Catherine, I suppose, would know all about that. They're a very successful down in the Solasly-esque and expanding year on year as well, and intend recruiting a lot of staff. So the hospitality industry is still very much alive. I suppose you have retail as well, seem to be holding their own,
Yeah.
I suppose. But what I would say is there's a lot of long-standing companies that are growing year on year.
Lovely.
And what I would say is do some homework into who those companies are. There are sustainable jobs there. They're actively looking for staff. A lot of high-end jobs going in those companies, and good prospects, future prospects for employees
Okay.
in those companies. You know.
So you're giving us a message of hope here even to start off today. So I'd like to invite the panel, as we're in an education fair today, from an employer's point of view, where do you see is the value of investing time in training and education?
Well, maybe I'll take that one. Just talking about, just going back to Declan's point there, when we opened in 2007, we had 60 employees. We now have 160 employees, and we're expanding to 190 employees in the next couple of months, so that tells you where we are in hospitality. I just wanted to say that if anybody's looking for a job, okay? So the value and benefit of investing time in training and lifelong learning and upgrading skills, it's just, you can't even begin to explain how valuable it is from an employer's perspective. Because obviously it's easier for employers to recruit if we have people with high skills. And then when they actually are working with us, they can take on a lot of responsibility, they have a lot of knowledge, they're happier in their work, they're more motivated in their job because they know what they're doing and they enjoy what they're doing. There's also great opportunities then for advancement and development and promotion. Because you've got people with high skills and high training, obviously, they're easier to promote. You really have a more productive workforce. From an employer's point of view as well, you save a lot of money because people get things right first time because they have high skills. Really and truly, to have people that have skills and training is just immense, especially in hospitality. And there's so many courses in hospitality that you can do now. From LYIT, there's lots, and I know probably some of you are doing them in culinary arts and food and beverage and restaurant and bar supervision. Also, we have a spa in our hotel, and we have the spa beauty therapy courses in Foss and the Northwest College and the Southwest College. So there's loads of ways that you can train and upgrade your skills if you're looking for a position, certainly in hospitality.
Okay, thank you very much,
Not
Catherine.
at all.
Who else would like to add to that?
Yeah, I think there's a risk that when we talk about all the companies that are expanding and all the jobs that everybody thinks, oh yeah, it's fine for you guys, you're working in the high tech sector, and that's where all the jobs and that's where all the job opportunities are. But if you take the likes of ourselves in Letterkenny, about 80%, 70 to 80% of our staff are in non-IT, right? So the vast majority of the staff that we have in Letterkenny are from non-IT, and then you take, of that 70 to 80%, actually about half the number of staff have no formal third level qualification at all. So what they've done is, and this is kind of a message that whether it's you go into hospitality or whether you go into medical devices or financial services, you view the business that you go into as your opportunity to gain further skills and education in that industry. And the communication that I regularly give our staff is that what you're doing is that you're learning in a healthcare university. You have an opportunity to garner huge amounts of skills, huge amounts of training that will eventually lead to significant opportunities later on in life. And there's no different if you work in the healthcare sector. You need to view it as your opportunity to gain skills, and to gain skills at the base level so that you can avail of those opportunities in the future. And it's not all about high tech.
That's a real message of hope and encouragement to us all, really, to look at further education and training. So I'm going to move over to Killybegs because, Declan, you're familiar with the apprenticeships. And sometimes there's a perception that the apprenticeships are not as buoyant as they were in the Northwest. However, in 2018, we are told there's going to be a huge shortage of trades. So Declan, perhaps you could give us a little insight into the apprenticeships in KER and maybe give a few recommendations as to how people might approach employers for apprenticeships.
Yeah, well, I suppose the recession didn't do a lot of for a lot of companies, and it made it a bit harder to get an apprenticeship with companies. The employers, we found it harder to deal with our customers in terms of they wanted more value for money and they wanted the qualified people in all the time, so that left you a bit restricted as to where you could send apprentices. But over the last number of years now, we've started to grow again, and we have 4 apprentices registered in the last 6 months. And KER itself, we offer apprenticeship opportunities in electrical, refrigeration, instrumentation engineering, and mechanical automation and fitting. So I think it's important for people to know that there is apprenticeships available out there. And talking from our own sector and saying in the small town of Killybegs, the industry is very busy there at the minute, and I know there's a few companies apprenticeships at the apprentices at the minute. But I suppose in order for someone to prepare best for an application will be to treat it like as high a position as possible, to prepare well, get a good CV, a good cover letter, to do research on the company you're going to apply with, the sector they're working in. And we would get from time to time people inquiring about apprenticeships, and they would be saying, look, I'm not that big into the schoolwork. I want to get on the tools. You know, I'm good at mechanical jobs. But from our point of view, we base ourselves on high standards. And for example, an electrician that we would be employing as an apprentice, we want them to apply themselves to their apprenticeship but as much as somebody studying medicine would do in university, because in 4 years' time that person is going to be qualified. We want them to be fit to walk in to work on a high voltage panel. One wrong move and it's game over for them. Sure. So it's important to know that an apprenticeship is an important level of education too. So
okay, so Declan, you're really telling us about the value of apprenticeships and to treat it like you would treat medicine, because it's a very important job. And you were saying when I was down in Killybegs about a 30-year-old that we sometimes have a...
Yeah, we have a qualified engineer there, and just there last year we registered him as an apprentice again for a refrigeration engineer. So he wanted to upskill. He started out, he finished school, he started out doing engineering, and he thought that's what he wanted. He came to work for us. He was a fabricator and a fitter for us, and he got working alongside our refrigeration engineers, and he decided that he really liked that and he had a big interest into it. So 2 years ago, just before his 30th birthday, he registered as an apprentice, and he's getting married this year, and he's on phase 2.
Lovely.
He found it tough going back, but he's really enjoying it, and he's merited in every single exam he's went into.
Lovely.
So when you have an interest, that's the other thing about when you're coming into a company like, say, like KER, that offers 4 different or 5 different trades, to be specific about what you want, to do the research, talk to ETB, find out the curriculum for the different trades to see, is it suiting you? Don't just come in and say, look, I'm looking for an apprenticeship,
Sure.
you know, I'll do anything at all, I just want to get work on. Because if it's not suiting, you're not going to apply yourself 100% either. So
it seems that doing your homework, and that was your first point too, Declan, do a bit of research in advance, and you're never too old to do an apprenticeship. Thanks for that, Declan.